Hi, our goal for this video is to provide you with a short rundown on how business is done in the Netherlands. We'll be touching base on important laws and regulations to be aware of, proper business etiquette, the overall business culture of the nation, and key ways a Dutch business environment may differ from a Kiwi's. We hope this information can serve as a valuable resource for you. The Netherlands sits on the northwestern part of Europe. It shares a border with Germany to the east and Belgium to the south. The North Sea rests above it, thus allowing the country to be very active in trade and commerce. The Netherlands has the 17th biggest economy in the world, which is very impressive considering its smaller size. In 2021, they had a GDP of around $1 trillion. With a strong, stable, and generally healthy economy, this makes the Netherlands a great location to pursue business activities. The country is home to roughly 17.5 million people. While Dutch is the main language spoken, there is no need for English speakers to worry, because nearly 90% of the population speaks English. However, levels of fluency can vary geographically. While interacting and communicating with Dutch business partners, it's important to be punctual and efficient with your time. They are very direct people who don't like to have their time wasted. So always show up on time for meetings and business events, as opposed to the Kiwi business culture where it's okay to show up a few minutes late. For more information about the business culture and etiquette of the Netherlands, let's hear from Storm.
The historical, geographical, and social characteristics of the Netherlands have an impact on the business culture and etiquette in the nation. While business procedures in the Netherlands and those of other Western nations have many commonalities, there are also clear variations. Here are 5 crucial elements of the Netherlands' business culture and etiquette that set them aside from others across the globe. The first of these being directness. The Dutch have a reputation for being straightforward and forthright in their interactions. They may be quite straightforward and appreciate clarity, which may come off as unpleasant to others from more indirect cultures. This candor is aimed at assuring openness rather than offending. The second one of these being consensus-driven. Decision-making in Dutch companies often entails a lot of debate and is motivated by the pursuit of consensus. They have a goal of reaching a consensus and believe it is best to get feedback of a variety of stakeholders before they make a final decision. The third being egalitarianism. There is no hierarchy in Dutch society, and this egalitarianism can be seen in the country's economic culture as well. The majority of organizations have flat hierarchies, and everyone is expected to contribute their thoughts and ideas. Instead of being perceived as leaders from on high, managers are seen as a part of a team. Work-life balance being the fourth one. The Dutch put a significant amount of importance on maintaining a healthy work-life balance. Even at senior levels, working part-time is typical, and working extensive hours is not considered a badge of respect. Time spent with loved ones and on oneself is treasured. The last one being ethics and sustainability. Dutch companies often put a place of emphasis on ethical business practices, corporate social responsibility, and environmental sustainability. With all that being said, it's important to take cultural relativity into account when comparing these behaviors to those of other nations. For instance, the more direct communication methods in Japan or other Middle Eastern countries may be in opposition to the directness of the Dutch, similar to how the cultures that value extended work hours, like South Korea, may be in sharp contrast to the Dutch focus on work-life balance. Keep in mind that every conversation must be approached with an open mindset, since every individual experience may differ.
When it comes to the legal and regulatory environment of the Netherlands, it is important to work with local advisors to understand Dutch tax laws, regulations, and business structures. Really, this tip works for any international business operations, but it's especially important in the Netherlands, where there are some specific and complex laws and regulations that businesses need to be aware of, such as the 9 corporate tax payments that are to be made each year, which take an average of 127 company hours to file. If a business is not prepared for this amount of work on tax payments, they'll struggle to keep up with the domestic Netherlands businesses that are aware of the strict regulations. Additionally, there's no public registry coverage, which can make getting credit a little tricky. As well as this, in most cases there are residential and commercial zoning for particular areas, meaning a business will have to get special permission to use an employee's home as a business venue, unless it's specifically allowed by the landlord. With all of these rules to be aware of, the Netherlands may seem like a daunting market to attempt to break into, but the purpose of most of these laws and regulations is not necessarily to prevent businesses from operating in the country, but to ensure that it's done in the right ways. This means that international businesses can be successful in the Netherlands, but they need to ensure that they get ahead of the game when it comes to legal requirements. Once all the hoops have been jumped through, the Netherlands government actually wants to promote international businesses in their country, so you'll be successful as long as you plan in advance and accept that you may have to allow for a few weeks of behind-the-scenes work before your business can officially operate there. Overall, we believe that this market should be looked at as a favourable market for international business expansion, and we hope that the tips and tricks from this video will give our viewers an advantage when it comes to doing business in the Netherlands.